Action will begin on Phil Hellmuth here on hand 66. Yeah, get rid of it. The loose cannon, Ernest Wiggins. Jack 9 offsuit, limps in.
Says Jack 9's his favorite hand.
This isn't a bad hand for Daniel Negreanu. Pocket kings. Raised to 1,600. Doyle gets rid of his hand. Phil Lock makes the call.
I'm gonna check out this time out. What a beautiful hand. Look at that, Phil. You would play this. You would play this every time.
And a fold by Tony G.
16 more, right?
16 total, 12 more.
Wants to see a flop with his favorite hand.
He's playing. Makes the call. 3 players to the flop. 7-9 Jack.
And Ernest's favorite hand connects over Daniel's pocket kings.
Check by Lock.
22.
Ernest has flopped top 2 pair.
D double up.
And bets 2,200.
Ernest hasn't let out at many flops. Daniel just going to call, play it cautiously.
Phil Lock with a flush draw. Also makes the call.
Ernest breathing very heavy here. He knows he's got a big hand.
The turn, the 10 of clubs.
Daniel's now picked up a gut shot straight draw to go with his overcards.
Check by Lock. A check by Wiggins.
There's a very wet board now. There's a lot of draws out there.
Negreanu bets 10,000.
Negreanu wanted to bet big enough here to chase out anyone who may be drawing. Like Phil Lock, who's only drawing to his 6 high flush. Ernest not going anywhere with his 2 pair.
The loose cannon makes the call. Off to the river. The 5 of spades. Check by Wiggins.
Oh, Daniel, come on,
I'm thinking about maybe just doubling you up real good.
Ernest let out on the flop, then called the turn. Say what you will about the guy, but he hasn't been chasing a lot of draws, so Daniel has to know Ernest has a real hand.
I check.
2 pairs. Jack 9.
I knew it.
Favorite hand. Jack 9.
Poopy, poopy, poopy. I think it would have worked.
I mean, a real hefty bet, honestly, you know.
So the loose cannon picked up a nice pot against Daniel, who couldn't pull the trigger on a big river bet. Why not? Daniel takes us inside his head and explains as we go behind the poker face.
So I'm in a really good seat because I've got the loose cannon on my right. So I decided that anytime he's in a pot, I'm going to raise and try to isolate him and play heads-up pots with him. It's me and you again, looks like.
Nah, it seems like it's always me and you, man.
So he limped again, and this time I actually had the goods. I had 2 kings. So I went ahead and I raised 1,600.
Oh, man.
Phil Lock called from the small blind, 3 of us going to the flop. So the flop comes Jack 9-7 with 2 diamonds, and that's just really a bad flop. Because any kind of hand that, you know, E or Phil Lock are going to play really hits that sort of area. So it's really dangerous, and I was already planning on folding these kings if things got ugly. So Phil checks, and all of a sudden, E bets.
22.
And he hadn't been betting at all, you know, so when he bet, I'm like, oh no, this is danger. But I can't fold yet because I got the overpair with the kings. So I call, and now Phil Lock calls. Now I'm really worried. I'm thinking I'm just dead here because both these guys have got some kind of combination that's hitting here. All of a sudden, everything changes because now the turn card's a 10. So an 8 would make a straight. Phil Lock checks, and E checks quickly. I know Phil Lock wouldn't check there if he had a straight. Not with that board, he would have bet. And I know E, he's probably got 2 pairs or something like that. So now I'm thinking, they don't know what I got. I'm going to turn my 2 kings into a bluff. So I decided to bet really big, hoping to get someone to fold 2 pair, and I bet 10,000. Phil Lock, he thought about it for a while and folded. E, just like that, he called me quick. So now I'm really thinking he's got 2 pair. The river's a 5. He checked. I don't think my kings are good. I could be ahead if he had like a pair and a straight draw, but most often I'm just dead, and he's got 2 pair.
Oh, Daniel,
Let me think, and I'm thinking about maybe doubling you up real good. So now I'm thinking I should bet 30 or 40,000 here, and he's going to fold. So I thought about it for a long time, and then I kind of sort of chickened out, because my philosophy usually, if I'm up against an amateur player, I don't like to try to bluff them when I know they got something good. I check. So I kind of gave up on the hand and checked it.
Jack 9.
Sure enough, he had jacks and 9s. missed opportunity because I think he would have folded for like 30 or 40,000.
It was 31 hands later when Daniel had a chance to put his plan into action against Ernest.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I gotta stay positive, man. I mean, I gotta stay positive. It's like really not easy for me.
Staying positive?
Yeah, it's really.
Try when you're losing 200,000.
Yeah, that's true. And you bluffed off like a couple hundred too. I mean,
I don't think so. I think you're mistaken.
Where's Phil's life coach? The loose cannon Ernest Wiggins has limped in. Daniel raises to 1,600. Doyle folds.
Once again, Ernest is limping with a hand you should really be raising with six-handed.
Phil Locke makes the call with 5 high. Tony G, Queen 8 suited.
so sick.
Also calls.
Phil knows he's getting a good price, but doesn't seem all that excited about ace deuce. All these guys more than happy to play a pot that Ernest is involved in.
Except for Phil Hellmuth.
His tight reputation precedes him.
Ernest does make the call. So 4 players to the flop. 10 Jack King, a pair of spades.
Ernest Wiggins has flopped top pair and the nut straight draw.
Tony G checks.
I'm going to bet 5,000.
Hey, all right, Ernest. Way to fire one off.
Daniel Negreanu, looking at a gut shot straight draw, makes the call.
Good hand. Yeah. All right.
Phil Locke gets out of the way. And Tony G does as well.
I guess here you again, huh, man?
Been that way, hasn't it?
I know, right?
A 5 of clubs on the turn.
I respect you as equal as I respect Doyle, man. Because you're not slacking up on me at all. You really going to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you making sure I wear my stripes on this table.
That's right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? All right, let's keep it fair. Let's just say 25.
E-Dub makes it 2,500 to go.
This is a very small bet. It reeks of weakness. Even though Ernest's hand is strong, this bet is definitely going to read as weak.
Daniel raises to 12,500.
You beat me in the pot right there.
So,
That was an awfully quick call by E-Dub.
E-Dub is eager to see the river.
Which is a Jack of Hearts.
what's that, Jack? I check. Dang, oh, come on. Dang, why you going there, man?
Ernest is now utilizing the little-known and even less successful begging play.
Daniel bets 35,000.
Oh, man, you really try to pull the trigger there, didn't you, man? Caught the Jack, didn't you? Caught the Jack. You had it the whole time, didn't you?
No comment.
Too late, you already nod your head yes. I
Say
fold.
what?
I fold. You nod your head yes real quick. Or
Kid.
too fast for me.
Daniel pushes Ernest off. Another winner. It seems like an easy call to make with top pair, but let's remember, Ernest is playing with his own money now.
Did you catch the Jack? Really? Or you just want to watch
You'll
the TV?
have to wait. I'll tell you after the show. How's that?
Fair enough. Fair
Okay.
enough. Fair
I'll tell you the
enough.
whole deal. When I give you the whole lowdown
Oh,
on
man.
the
You were beat all the time.
I was beat the whole time?
Doyle says the Jack didn't matter at all.
Yeah, it didn't matter. I believe
What did I have, everybody? Did everyone know?
Straight.
I had the straight.
I think
Straight.
You had a queen.
I had a queen. Just a queen. He thinks I just robbed the pot.
Yeah. I hope not, because if it's just a queen, then I really feel like an ass. Oh, excuse me.
Coming up next, one of the greatest rivalries in all of poker.
I'm gonna clean you out. I'm gonna clean you out, baby. I'm gonna do it to you.
You're so bad, you don't even understand it.
I'm so happy to be so bad.
Sometimes it's an innocent godfather who gets hit by the shrapnel.
I just don't believe you got it, buddy.
That and more when we come back on Rivalry Night on the Best of the Big Game. We're back with the Best of the Big Game, where some of our pros take a trip down memory lane.
My earliest poker memory is playing poker for popcorn and candy.
I saw Chris Moneymaker win it, beating all these top pros.
I played with some guys who taught me the game that had already been playing, and I beat them all pretty fairly.
Someone said to me, why don't you play in this poker tournament? So I played in it. It was the 5-Diamond Classic, and I came in 4th.
I think I picked up on the game right away and kind of had a natural talent for it.
Welcome back to the Best of the Big Game Rivalry Night. Our next hand is a great example of how Tony G and Phil Hellmuth were gunning for each other. But remember, this was not a heads-up match.
That's right, Chris. This time, Doyle Brunson, the poker legend, got mixed up in their feud, and it wasn't a pretty sight.
This comes from week 1, hand number 12.
Everybody got a little Phil in them. A lot of us get rid of it by the time they're 7 or 8 years old, but...
You're learning. You're getting some good counseling, man. Your counseling's
You
working.
think I can make fun of myself a little bit? Come on now.
You're discovering yourself, but that's good. You're getting self-aware now.
All right, I need to,
You're working out. You might not be as good at poker as you believed, right?
Need a limp in. Limpy.
I think most people lose their little Phil along with their baby teeth.
Doyle finally has a hand to chew on. Pocket 10s are raised to 1,900. Lock folds.
Got the double. How much is that?
19.
Okay. Just because it's Doyle, I want to play with it.
Expect to see a lot of that here in the big game. There's ego as well.